On board, Dilip Bhat, joint MD Prabhudas Lilladher, and talk about what the markets want from this budget. And Dilip, it seems like the market expectations definitely are easing out and getting relatively tempered ahead of the big event.
Certainly, I think despite the fact that this is the first budget of Modi, the first full-fledged budget, the expectations have really become much more sober and moderate, the way the markets have reacted. And I think in a way it is good that markets are really sobering down their expectations. But having said that, I firmly believe that this budget probably will still try to do something which can kickstart the economy, I think which can bring about a good multiplier impact, which can give a good disposable surplus in the hands of the common man. So, you know, they also spend along with that, or at the most they will try to save, which also is what is the paramount need at the moment. So I think all said and done, I think we are looking forward for a combination of actions from the government which will translate into a good, perceptible, visible growth in the next 2 or 3 years.
Dilip, if I look at the market structure, earnings are very disappointing, yet markets are sitting at a historic high. Do you think a little bit of miss in this year's budget could be a recipe for a big correction?
Sure, I think that market remains vulnerable for that is without any doubt, Nikunj. I think certainly yes. The results have been a washout. Nobody is expecting anything great, even in the fourth quarter. And if you see the language of most of the companies, I don't think that they think that there is anything great happening on the ground. So I think that sets the tone even for the fourth quarter. So I think, yes, of course, in this budget, people are looking for how this government is going to put that particular extra zing in terms of the visibility, which can bring about a good multiplier impact in the economy in terms of the projects, in terms of something innovative on funding these projects, how to navigate through all those problems. I think some of those certainly probably will be expected. And yes, you're right, Nikunj, I think markets certainly remains very vulnerable.
So how should one invest in a market which clearly is exposed to downside? As of now, markets are riding on hopes, and hopes have been so strong that every analyst on B Street has converted hopes into forecast.
So Nikunj, I have a different take on that. You know, we always say that the previous regime, the previous government probably didn't do much in the markets, but how many people were really bearish on the street that time? So I would say that right now, with such a good majority that they have at the moment, I think the optimism and that perception that something will be delivered will remain. So even if this budget really misses that particular point, maybe markets would undergo some fair amount of correction in the short run, but possibly I think maybe a month, maximum a month, probably it could remain. But probably I think that also would be put behind, and markets would look for something better for the next 1 year or two. I think that is what probably happened even in the previous regime, and there is nothing to feel otherwise, more so when the economy is firmly in the hands of somebody who understands the importance of the growth for the economy.
Dilip, such a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks much for taking your precious time out and speaking with us today.